Welcome back to Burning River Bushcraft. Now, I didn't really think there was a need for this, but today we're going to do a tutorial on making an improvised PVC survival bow. So I've made a series of shorts on this PVC survival bow. I've done a lot of different variations. I've got them in weights from about 26 pounds up to about 42 pounds. I've shown rest options. I've shown a lot of different things you can do with them, but people keep asking for a tutorial on how do you build it. It's not that hard, and we're going to knock this out in just a few minutes. So before we do this, why the heck do I even call this thing an improvised survival bow? Well, first of all, this is not really that great of an option of a bow. You can make some really premium PVC bows, but this is not going to be one of them. This is going to be something you can make in just a few minutes with very, very minimal tools. So this isn't the best, but what this is an incredibly inexpensive and easy to do craft that's going to get you into archery. You're going to be able to get a pipe. You can make two bows out of one pipe. This is paracord for a string. You can pick up some arrows and you can learn a new skill. Now, you can use this skill to hunt with. A 25 to 26 pound bow like this, it's okay for targets. Small game it would be okay for. But when you get up into the 40 pound models, that is capable of taking big game. So the other big knock I get on calling this a survival bow is how are you going to get PVC out in the middle of the wilderness? Well, not every situation happens out in the middle of the wilderness. In a rural situation where there's houses or cabins around, PVC is probably going to be in those. These is also used for signs. And in an urban situation, you're going to find these everywhere. And if you were in a true wilderness situation, you could pre-plan, you could incorporate a inexpensive bow like this that's capable of taking big, medium, and small game and stash it away. You could work this into your bug out location. You could store these in your bug out cabin. You could keep this in your bug out vehicle. So to build one of these, this is what you're going to go to the hardware store and look for. This is 3/4 inch PVC, schedule 40. Now, this is the primary water line in most houses in the United States. That's a 10-foot stick of pipe, and we're going to cut it directly in half. So we're going to have two 5-foot pieces. Now, you're going to need some way to mark that. You're going to need some way to measure that, and you're going to need some way to cut that. Cutting PVC is just about as simple as you can get. This is a cable saw. This fits in a regular hacksaw frame. You can use a hacksaw. You can use a sawzall. You can use an angle grinder. Even Kevlar line is completely capable of cutting through that PVC. All right, so right here is dead center. This is 60 inches. Go ahead and mark all the way around us. I'm going to go ahead and start our cut. So if you've got a pretty good cut, you're going to be able to clean this up with just a little bit of sandpaper. If your cut is a little coarser, then you might want to get a file out. Since we got the tape measure out, I'm going to go ahead and mark center. So in this bow, in this case, this is going to be 30 inches. And then I'm going to go up 2 inches at 28. I'm going to drop down 2 inches to 32. That's going to give me a consistent grip on the bow, and I'm always going to be launching my arrow off at the same point. This red lettering we're going to use as the front of the bow, the target side. So on this red lettering, I'm going to make a mark 1 inch down. Now I'm going to cut into this. I'm going to cut a kind of a upside down frown shape. We're going to cut that using that same saw that we cut the pipe with. This is going to be our string notch. So there's a lot of better string options, but we're going to be using paracord today just because I know that you can get that locally. Now we're going to be using just sandpaper or a file if needed to open this notch up and deburr it so that the paracord can slip in and out of the notch. So it's been pretty straightforward so far, but now is the tricky part. Now we're going to make our bowstring. Now this is an improvised bow, so we're using improvised bowstring. This is just paracord, and this is the hard part. This is going to take a couple times. You're not going to get this right the first time. This is 56 inches. So if you want to tie mine 56 inches loop to loop, that doesn't mean it's going to work, but it's going to be a pretty decent ballpark. What happens is the paracord string is going to stretch. This one has been pre-stretched. So that's not a really good number for you, and it changes each time. It takes me a couple times to get it right. We're just going to tie kind of a figure 8 knot in here, but make sure it's something that you can loosen and take it off, because it's going to take you a couple tries. So you'll know your string is the right length when your fist mill from the back of your bow to the string is the distance of your fist with your thumb extended. So just because you got it the first time doesn't mean that it's going to stay that way. As you shoot this bow, or if you put fiberglass rods in this to increase the weight to a hunting weight, that's going to put more stress on the string and it's going to stretch it out even worse. So if this is the kind of thing you like, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment in the comment box, and ring the bell to be notified of my latest videos. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Burning River Bushcraft. I also teach outdoor classes at outdoorcore.com. Now, in just a few minutes, with just a few dollars, you should have a functional bow. Now, there's a lot of upgrades you could do to this bow. I've got a lot of shorts on this. If there's a need, I can show you a advanced build, I guess. But you can stack fiberglass rods like this. This is tiered through where it's actually stiffer in the center section. This is how you get this bow. This is probably weighing about 26, 27 pounds right now. And you can get this up over 40 pounds. There's also a lot of rests that you can do. I've showed several different improvised rests so you don't have to shoot off your knuckle. But again, we've taken a pipe that you can get from the hardware store, or you can find in an old abandoned house, and you can take just a few tools, a little bit of string, and turn this into a weapon. All right, till next time, this has been Jamie Boggs with Burning River Bushcraft. See you soon.